Hi, and welcome to another episode of Might Be Meets. And today I'm joined by the legend, Karl from Dynamo Healthcare Training. Karl, hi, welcome. How are you, sir?
Really good, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming on the show as well. So you obviously come in from Dynamo Healthcare Training.
I
We
have.
obviously know each other because
We do.
Dynamo is now a client of Big Box, which we're really proud of to
Yep.
be working with you. We'll talk about that obviously a bit later on. Tell us a little bit about what Dynamo is, because you do a lot of things, don't you?
Yeah, we've kind of got a sister company as well, but Dynamo Healthcare Training, specialist healthcare provider. We run courses, medical health, clinical health, from courses at level 2 all the way up to kind of level 5. We're a recruitment provider as well. So any kind of GP surgeries in Cornwall that are interested in advertising a position,
Yeah.
we can do the free recruitment advertising for them. And then we can do pre-selection. And then if they're the right candidate, we can get them into that role and then work them on the apprenticeship as well. So it's on the job training really in the healthcare.
Of course, yeah.
But I've been brought into the company as well because we've now got the sister company, which is Dynamo Training. And that's a big focus on business management training.
This really interested me when we had a conversation about it, because obviously I know you as Dynamo Healthcare Training. I thought over the years that's what you've always done, but this is
and
slightly
still do.
and this is it. You still do, but there's some familiar faces I know. I'm not going to name drop, but there's some familiar faces joining your courses recently, isn't there?
There is, yes. So we've just started yesterday our level 7, which is master's equivalent in leadership and management. So what we've done is we've taken one module from the whole level 7. Now the level 7 itself, like I said, is master's equivalent. You get accredited with the ILM, the CMI as well, but it's 20 months long. So some people can't really commit straight away to 20 months.
It's
so
a tough one.
It is really tough. So what I said to people was, there's a try before you buy scheme.
Yeah.
So we've got some funding available. And what we said was try one of the units, which is called a values-based leadership in action course. And like you said, there's several directors from business in Cornwall that we all know quite well.
Yes, indeed.
And we started the course yesterday, including myself, and it was brilliant.
I saw some of the pictures actually.
Yeah, there's some big shout outs on all the social channels for those that might see. And it's been a really good course. And what I chose was to do that course first and then say to these directors or senior managers in companies, if they like it, then we can signpost them to level 7. And actually, all 6 on the course have said they want to do the full level 7, which is brilliant.
That's amazing, isn't it?
It is.
I know you're doing it as well.
I'm doing it as
well.
well.
You're practicing what you preach, right?
I'm practicing what I preach, yeah. So I'm all about credibility. So if I'm out there and about and I'm selling a product or talking about something, I want experience in it. Yeah. So I said to Gail, obviously our director, that if I'm going to be talking about the business, selling this training, I want to do it as well. Which is interesting because I've just started in the job as well. So
well, that was my next question actually, because you've not always been doing this. So tell me a bit about your story, Karl.
Yeah, so story to date. So I left the armed forces in 2012 while I was in the Royal Air Force.
Oh, wow.
As a physical training instructor. So all those people you see in like the white vest, combats, beasting people at Fizz.
Yeah.
That was me.
A bit like Top Gun, right? No,
I'm not going to say anything there. Zip. But what I would say is I specialise. So I joined up as a physical training instructor, but I had to specialise in a specific trade. Now, in my career, there was 3 ways you could go. One was parachute jumping instructor, so dispatching troops out of aircraft. The other one was remedial instructor, so sports injuries, physiotherapy.
Sure.
And the other one was adventure training instructor. Now, there was a caveat around adventure training instructor because AT was the medium, but actually the theory behind it was leadership management, facilitation, train the trainer. And that was something that was one of my passion at the time.
Yeah.
So I was specialised in all the outdoor sports from water-based to mountaineering to winter mountaineering.
Amazing. Yeah.
And we used to take groups out and then use that experience of coming out of your comfort zone and stretching people, bring it back into the classroom and then start doing the leadership theories and models around that.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved it. Unfortunately, in 2012, I was made redundant from the armed forces.
Oh, wow. That's rare as well.
So I was looking at a full-time career, but unfortunately MOD made their cuts at the time and my trade got split in half and saw me come back out to Civvy Street. Fortunately, I was in the leadership world and I kind of snapped up the next opportunity, and that was working for one of the colleges. I'm not going to name drop because there's 2 in Cornwall. And if I say one, the others won't like me, so I'm going to keep quiet there.
Switzerland.
Yeah. So I was brought in really from my military experience to redesign some curriculum. So there was me and a couple of others that actually built some new curriculum around military academy.
Wow.
You might
Okay,
have
that's
heard of.
interesting.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
there's always been a public service kind of blue light entry and courses around the BTECs.
Yeah, there was when I was at college.
Yeah,
Weirdly, that was a long time ago as well.
So we brought in this aspect that there's actually a lot of people interested in green light military.
Okay.
So we tagged that onto the public service and created the MAPS Academy.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Did that for a few years. So there's a bit of curriculum design, curriculum management and programming, a bit of lecturing as well. Education cuts.
Yes.
Saw me leave that sector.
Typical.
And then I stayed with the same college, but went into the projects world. So I started working in the projects department and then doing the training from there. Education cuts.
Indeed.
Saw me leave that one. And then I went to work for some training providers in Cornwall on fixed term contracts. So managing European social funding projects, either 2-year, 3-year fixed term contracts from there. And then here I am now.
Fantastic. And you've really landed on your feet as well. It's fantastic what you're doing.
Yes and no. I think, yes, fortunate enough to be able to go into those positions. But I think every job I've had, I have worked at to get to that next level.
100%.
Yeah, so it's...
you've hugely got the experience for the sound of things in that leadership and training aspect to kind of get you to where you are now. But with Dynamo is what I mean. It's obviously a fantastic company to work for.
It is, fantastic company. It's a new venture as well because they're really expanding this business training arm.
Yes.
I've been brought in as the development manager kind of to grow the business and grow that sector. And what's really good is, although our courses are Cornwall based for Cornwall businesses, this also business one, it can go national.
That's fantastic.
So any business that has a manager from junior manager up to CEO director, we can support with training. And there's funding around that as well.
And a lot of businesses, I'd like to think, watch this podcast. Hopefully people are watching anyway, although it's kind of a bit pointless. But if there's a business watching and they're thinking to themselves, I'm interested in finding out a bit more. Speaking to Karl, how do they do that? Where would you?
Easiest thing to do is look on our website. So you can type into Google or any search engine, Dynamo Healthcare Training or Dynamo Training, and it pops up. We've got 2 obviously separate websites, but they're linked together. Or just find me on my socials. I'm on.
You're active on LinkedIn.
I'm active on LinkedIn. Yeah. I'm on all other socials, but just Karl Smith or email me.
Yeah, when we certainly will put your details obviously in the post as well, so people can obviously see that when they watch this. Interesting that leadership's one of the ones, because I've heard a lot discussed in Cornwall about the lack of, historically anyway, the lack of leadership training and how poor, I would say. I'm not saying how poor the leaders are here in Cornwall. That's really bad to say.
I think it's the way,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I think businesses in Cornwall are growing now.
Yes.
Cornwall's the place where business want to come to. So it's about expanding that skill set and that knowledge. Yeah. And what a great way with a funding opportunity to do this training. And I can say it can be from low level to the top. Most businesses I've spoken to through the management chain, unless they've set up their own business, they've got a little bit of knowledge around how that works. But quite a lot of people have been put into that position through a promotion, through being at a company for a long time, have got the kind of knowledge of the sector, but actually how to manage people.
And it's a different skill, isn't it?
Different skill altogether. Absolutely.
Because you got a core business of a company that say does engineering, and you're a really good engineer, and you do it for 10 years and you're fantastic at the job, and then you get promoted to management level. You're not suddenly an expert in management. Yeah. You're an expert in engineering, right?
Yeah, you're not the coalface working now. You're now behind a desk actually operating, strategic planning.
Yeah, and all this kind of stuff. So it's really important what you guys are doing. And honestly, fair play to you as well. And I know a lot of people, as of yesterday, have already told me how fantastic their first day was doing it. Yeah. Always a bit daunting going into school on the first day.
And the candidates we got on the course, including myself, great bunch of people. Great.
Wow, not all of them.
Well, not all of them.
Some of them are awful.
Well, it depends. Depends who we talk about. But we have got another course. I mean, so if people are interested and missed out on this opportunity, what we're going to do is in the September, October, we're going to put on another unit.
Fantastic.
As almost a try before you buy. So if people are interested, they can start that and then they can progress onto the full level 7.
It sounds fantastic, and something I know that I've already expressed interest in. Being a leader myself, it's often tough to get everything right all the time. Yeah. And I think we can always strive to learn more. And,
absolutely. And don't have a fear around it being 20 months master's level, because a lot of people have said to me, and business owners, that they can't commit because they haven't got the time. I agree. It is a big commitment, but it's work related.
So how much in a week would you say it goes into it?
So about 6 hours a week.
That's not bad
at all. It's not too bad, really, no.
I spend more time that watching TV.
Yeah, I mean, the unit we're doing at the minute, we've condensed down. Yeah. So it's 2 sessions a week over 8 weeks.
Okay.
But that's a condensed course. But yeah, we're looking at about 20 months. But there is flex in that as well. So we work to the business and the individual. So if they need a pause in training
Yeah, that's
or need
good.
some extensions, then we can work
Because
around
things
it.
pop up right in
All the
business. They
time.
always
Life,
do.
yeah, life gets in the way.
It does, definitely. But that sounds incredibly reasonable. I mean, I know I waste probably 6 hours a week watching TV or some crappy show somewhere on
Yeah,
TV
true, yeah.
where I could actually be
Studying.
investing that into myself.
Yeah.
And I know if anyone's watching that can think exactly the same, I certainly advise you to have a chat with Carl about that as well. Carl, thank you so much for coming
Thank you
in.
for your time.
And yeah, we're really pleased to be working with Dynamo Healthcare Training and on Dynamo Training on all of this. And if you have got an interesting story to tell, like Carl has and like Susie has as well today from Creative UK, please put me a message. It'd be really good to have you on another episode of Might Be Meets. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.